Time for another fine OTRSCentral Q A. It's awfully enthusiastic.
Well, it'd be nice if the other guy showed up every once in a while.
That's kind of putting it out there. Yeah, that would be kind of nice. Remember, if you have questions you want to have answered, the information is in the description box down below on how to get your questions answered in future Q&A episodes. Let's get started off here. At Jordan Tabanor. Who was the most underused during their career? Attitude Era Kane, Goldust, William Regal, or Owen Hart? The most underused.
I'm going to go with William Regal.
Okay.
He never got to where he should have been.
Well, where do you think he should have been?
I think he should have been a bigger star.
You really think so?
Mm-hmm.
He was featured in the mid-card. He had a few mid-card titles, and he was commissioner.
I know, but I think they should have moved up higher on the ladder.
Really
I fear the same thing is going to happen with Wade Barrett.
Possibly. Most underused. Either Goldust or Owen Hart. At Dolphins Knowles 13, is there a guy in TNA that you think would be a main eventer in WWE that hasn't already been there? Bobby Roode.
Don't watch TNA.
Say Austin Aries.
Austin Aries.
To be fair, Austin Aries is pretty similar in size to CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, so
it's true.
Yeah, he would get a shot in the main event, and I think Bobby Roode would as well.
Especially if he came in through WWE, not through TNA. If he came from TNA, I don't think he'd make it anywhere.
Not right away. They would make sure they destroyed him first, and then built him back up, perhaps. At SimClay123, do you think the TNA Hall of Fame was Jeff Jarrett's idea so he can get into a Hall of Fame? I could be a smartass and say I think it was 100% his idea because that egomaniac would want to be in his own Hall of Fame. I think it was a marketing thing from Dixie and maybe one or two other people in the company. Maybe Jarrett had some input, maybe he didn't, but I doubt it.
Probably just to try and ride the bandwagons of WWE.
Perhaps.
Well, we got our own Hall of Fame, too.
Yeah, see? We got our own Hall of Fame, see? We don't need that. We've got one person in our Hall of Fame, Sting. And he's been that way for a year, see? At Little Nick X365. What do you think about the new cheating rumors with John Cena and porn star Kendra Lust? Have you seen her?
Yeah, kind of gross.
Ugh.
Oh, is she a porn star?
She does the job, I guess.
Well, I guess Ron Jeremy's a porn star, too, so...
She's not the best-looking porn star I've ever seen.
She's, like, out of Cena's weight range, too.
At least 100 pounds too low. At least 100 pounds too low. What are your thoughts on these rumors? Do you believe them?
Not really.
Why not?
John Cena wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do what?
He wouldn't cheat on his wife with a porn
star. That's right,
star.
ladies and gentlemen. John Cena would not have sex with a woman, ever.
No. No, I mean, if you're talking like a Mickey James or something, maybe. But just because they're together so much.
The whole thing about the ex-wife is making it up. Look, John Cena's on the road all the time. He'd probably dip out on his wife. Yeah, more than once, probably. Is it believable that it would have been this porn star girl? Yeah. Do I think it's true? Probably. Do I really care? No. Is it just another chink in the armor of your so-called all-American golden boy that they'll just brush under the rug? Yeah.
That's the way we like it.
That's the way you like it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way Vince McMahon likes it.
What happens on the road stays on the road.
There! We're not going to mention this at all. No, let's talk about Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish.
Support the troops.
Support the troops. Be a star. Be a star. At Daniel_attitude. As far as John Cena goes, so nothing surprises me one way or another. Who is your favorite wrestler you have met? What wrestler that you haven't met would you like to most meet? Out of all the wrestlers you've met, which one's been your favorite one?
My favorite one? Yeah,
Yes, I think Road Warrior Animal ranks very high up there, probably number 1. Any other ones? Especially the last 2 years, the ones we've met.
JBL was really nice.
Yes.
Without question. JR was really nice. I know he's not a wrestler, but same category. Never shake hands with Danny Hodge. I learned that the hard way. Don't put you in a headlock.
Danny Hodge is one of my favorite people that I've met. Just period, wrestler, entertainer, whatever. He's what a wonderful man he is.
Hacksaw was nice.
Hacksaw was great in 2011.
So essentially, all of them that we met have been great so far.
Yeah, the only one I think that was kind of was probably Perry Saturn this past year, but we didn't really meet him.
We never interacted with him.
I think he was just having a bad day, so I won't badmouth him. It was good to see him alive and doing a lot better. What wrestler haven't you met that you want to the most?
HBK.
Really?
I want to meet Edge, but I'm meeting him this year, so.
Hopefully he brings Christian.
Like that.
Of all the people I could possibly meet, I think everybody could take a guess who the one person is that I would most like to meet. Brother. If there was anybody else, it would probably be Taker, The Rock, people like that. But Hogan would be the number 1 person I most want to meet. At Mr. Coyote, what do you think are the positive and negative contributions of the Clique in wrestling? Positive contributions. Positive contributions.
Maybe we should just go to the negative.
No, there are positive contributions. I'm trying to figure out the best way I can word this. The Clique led to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall being featured in a certain spot, and when they left at WCW, they became big catalyst in the NWO storyline and helped the wrestling business turn a necessary corner and started a big boom in the mid to late 90s. Other positives, Triple H. That was really him being a part of that. You spun off of the Clique and you eventually got to DX, and I'm really trying to come up with a ton of positives here, but there are some.
It's another reason for Triple H to go in the Hall of Fame.
Obviously. It did lead to some great, matches between these guys, especially Shawn and Razor, and that's all good. Negative contributions. A lot of people probably say the curtain call, even though people already knew the wrestling business was fake. They had a tendency to, and they've even admitted this themselves, especially in the case of Shawn, knocking other people down and keeping them down and, really trying to run the show. I think they may have been good in the standpoint of they were teaching wrestlers to stand up for themselves when they were in the top spot, but the problem was they're very much like the Breakfast Club of the day. Imagine that. Keeping everybody else down. So.
Oh yeah, Shawn used to be a dick.
Sometimes still can be. But he can also be great, too.
Mm-hmm.
So positives and negatives. I don't want to shit on the Clique too much. That's just how it is. At Vulpin Milk, do you think John Cena has a big ego backstage like Hogan and Austin did?
If he does, it's well-deserved.
Really?
He's carrying that company on his shoulders.
It's because they refuse to have anybody else help him shoulder the burden.
It's because nobody else is a superstar like him.
Because they never allow anybody else to be built up into being a superstar like him.
They gave Punk the belt for 434 days.
And they consistently put him in the damn mid-card as a world champion. Look what they fucking did with Ryback.
How is that John Cena's fault?
Oh, okay. All right. Does John Cena have a big ego backstage like Hogan and Austin? You're damn right he does. Do a lot of guys at the very top have big egos like Hogan and Austin did? Absolutely. They pretty much all do. Why? Because it comes with the territory.
You're at the top, you don't want to let other guys in because you might get knocked out of your spot.
You get the occasional guy like a Mick Foley who doesn't have an incredibly big ego, but Mick Foley was never really featured at the top. He was a dance partner, he was towards the top, but he was never the Hogan, the Austin.
He was the sidekick.
Right, exactly. He was the dance partner. Yeah, John Cena has a big ego, no question. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. That doesn't make it good either. At Luis Roulette, do you think John Cena will be like Ric Flair and still wrestle when he is 60 years old?
No. John Cena will retire.
How many more years do you think he's going to wrestle?
If I had to say
full
max,
time.
Full time? 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you would get close to that 40-year-old range. I don't know. There's something about Cena. It's like he really loves it. You could tell legitimately that he really loves the business. I mean, I could see him when he got to about 40 be like, I want to take some time off and get a couple years away. But could I see him coming back and working a few years in his mid 40s, perhaps? Will he still wrestle when he's 60 years old? No, I don't think so. Nor do I think he's the type performer that his body is going to hold up well enough to be able to wrestle in any capacity when he's 60 years old.
Yeah.
I got Phil Powers.
Flair has the advantage of the fact he was always kind of a smaller guy. He wasn't that huge, muscly guy.
Yeah. I mean, he was.
It's hard to maintain that once you get old.
It is. No question. Excuse me. At Phil Powerslam, do you think TNA should fully change their name to Impact Wrestling?
Does it really matter?
Well, aren't you the penis today?
It's the same fucking show.
No, I don't think so, and here's why. Because 11 years after they changed their name from WWF to WWE, you still have people today that call it the WWF. It causes name confusion. Your brand lacks identity. If you change the name from TNA to Impact Wrestling, it's going to confuse a whole lot of people. Like you said, I suppose, does it really matter because they're not nearly on the same level?
Plus, we already have an Impact Wrestling here in Iowa.
Impact Pro Wrestling with Bill Jensen and promoter Troy Peterson. That's actually a really good independent thing.
It is.
If you guys are ever trying to actually get into the wrestling business, you're looking at like a good rookie school to go to. Troy's in Algona, Iowa actually is a really good one. I mean, that's ask Austin Aries how that worked out for him. Anyways, at Huffhearted44, if WCW had actually pushed WWF off the cliff, where do you think pro wrestling would stand at the present moment?
WCW wasn't going to push WWF off the cliff.
This is just hypothetical. If it would have actually happened, it probably would have hooked up a chain to WWF's trailer hitch and got dragged off the cliff as well. It wouldn't be as bad as we might think at times the wrestling business is right now. It'd probably be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, it definitely would. I don't think we'd be having 6 shows a week, but
no, we might not have any. I mean, because even if WCW would have beaten the WWF, pushed them off the cliff, and forced them to go away, the AOL Time Warner merger, WCW may very well just went away anyways, and then what the fuck? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah, that's what I'll say is that if anything, the business would have been worse off than even what it is right now. At Fork34 has our last question. Has TNA ruined Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
How badly?
He was part of the reason I actually used to tune into Impact every once in a while. And I haven't watched Impact in God knows how long. Him and Austin Aries were the guys I tuned in for, and
has TNA ruined Mr. Anderson? If you had to ask that particular question, you probably deep down already knew the answer. Yes. It's been terrible what has been done with him. Yes. He's gone from being somebody that could be a real main eventer for that company and be a big star to just being annoying and kind of dumb to see. And that's very sad to see because I like the guy. I like the performer. And they made me not care about him anymore. And that's very tragic when you do that. Remember, you can have your questions answered by us in future Q&As by tweeting them to us and our Twitter handle, which is
at the Off the Rope Show.
Or just at Off the Rope Show. That's probably the correct one.
Whatever, the link's down there.
There you go. That's the way to do it. You just say from now on. Be like Don and Ninja and be like, I put the links in the description box.
If you want to talk to us on Skype or Facebook, it's all down there.
Please, we want to talk to you.
And Jay goes like this.
We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. Come on, just do it.
What's up?
What's up?
Ka-ching for the win.